Joining us right now, Mary. He has quickly become one of our favorites.
Love
He's
him.
the founder and CEO of Horizon Aircraft. Of course, their ticker symbol, HOVR. And this guy is he's a former fighter pilot. He's done a lot of things. He's a pilot, and he's got something that we all want.
Yes, and it makes me feel like the Jetsons. Like, I feel like
He
the
really
Jetsons is coming into our lives very soon.
He's bringing the Jetsons
and
to
I
life.
love it. You guys need to learn that theme
Yeah.
song. Hey, Brandon, welcome back.
Good to see you again, Brandon. How are you?
Great to see you folks. Really appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Hey, do me a favor. I don't know if we've ever asked you this before, the times you've been on the Big Biz show, but the current aircraft that you're working on, and we'll talk about, what's coming down the road. How long is it taking you to get to where this is your quote unquote finished product for the moment?
Yeah, so it's taken a couple of years to get to where we are now with a large-scale prototype that's actually flying that you see, on your videos there, which is a pretty exciting milestone.
Right.
And now we're working on the full-scale aircraft. So in 24 months from now, we will have a full-scale technical demonstrator. That's a 6-passenger and 1 pilot, 6,500-pound beast of an airplane ready to start flight testing. From there, we'll already be into the certification at that point. And then another couple of years, and we'll be cranking them off the production line.
And how many passengers can fit in the one? I see one behind your head there.
Yeah, exactly. So 6 passengers in the back.
That's 6.
And 1 pilot up front, which is pretty unique in the marketplace. There's a lot of 4-place and 5-place, but ours is 6 gusting 7 sort of people in the back, which is really nice.
Brandon, with this type of vehicle, and you have talked about it on past visits with here on the Big Biz show, but the absolute, I guess, endless applications for an aircraft that powerful, that reliable, but still that small and kind of able to get into those quote unquote nooks and crannies that a bigger aircraft's not available to get into.
Well, it's a great point. So essentially you have a helicopter type capability, so it can take off and land vertically. All it needs is a helipad of any type or a parking lot, etc. And so you can take off and land from anywhere virtually. But when you're traveling en route, you're going about twice as fast as a helicopter, and you're saving about 75%. So 75% less cost per unit mile than a helicopter. So, for any mission where you think a helicopter that flies twice as fast and is 75% cheaper per unit distance is going to be useful, and there you go. So take medical services, for example. So imagine, heaven forbid your family's in an accident, you're all okay, but, someone needs to get medevaced to a hospital. One of these things can show up and get one of your loved ones to a hospital in literally half the time at, again, 25% of the cost. And so, and extend that into other emergency medical services, transporting critical radioactive isotope cancer drugs or organs from hospital to hospital, and then extend that out to disaster relief type missions where, heaven forbid, a big storm system goes through, knocks out all the power. Our aircraft is hybrid electric, so it can operate independent of any electrical grid, and you can get these aircraft to location to start saving lives and start helping people in, again, half the time and in much lower cost than a helicopter would be.
Brandon Robinson, founder CEO of Horizon Aircraft, ticker symbol is HOVR.
Hey, Brandon, speaking of the medical usage, because you were talking about it could fit 6 passengers, but then can it also be easily transferred into, like an emergency with a bed and the equipment that you would need, like an ambulance has?
Yeah, so great question. As a hybrid electric aircraft, first of all, it has the power generation on board to be able to support all that equipment very easily.
Wow.
We've designed the cabin, again, now that it's 6 people in the back, the cabin is also large enough, and we've insured that to house all of the equipment, a stretcher, 2 emergency medical technicians, paramedics, if you will, that can look after an injured patient, and all the support equipment. So it's perfect for a medical evacuation mission. We've designed it to be perfect for that mission, and we've got a lot of special engineering under the hood for that.
Brandon, what's the altitude max, or is there a set altitude that this aircraft is going to do the best at?
Now, like in theory, it's a really powerful machine. It can go pretty high and pretty far. We've limited it operationally to 10,000 feet because it's unpressurized, which means that you'll be very comfortable in the sort of 5,000 to 8,000 foot range. It can go up to 10,000 feet, and that's very normal for a machine of this size.
What there's obviously other people, other businesses in your space, but you are heads and shoulders above all that competition. What is it that sets you guys apart from the pack?
Well, we like to think of ourselves as complementary as well, but yeah, so back up maybe 3 or 4 years, having a hybrid electric system, so a gas burning engine on board that leverages, gas is still about 30 to 40 times as energy dense as even the best batteries. Having a gas powered engine on board was less than popular. And so most of the uh, people in our sort of sector went all electric. Fast forward 4 years, and the realities of having an all electric architecture for a flying machine are starting to become pretty challenging for some folks, and ranges are shrinking.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong; these folks will do great work in the 0 to 50 mile range, but our aircraft having a hybrid electric power system, so think again gas engine on board, can go 5 to 10 times further, fly twice as fast, and carry a lot more stuff. Whereas the other aircraft are carrying a lot of batteries on board, so they have to carry less stuff, unfortunately, and are limited to those shorter ranges. So we like to say, instead of intra-city, so between a skyscraper and a skyscraper within a city, we can go between cities at a regional scale, so up to 500 miles quite easily. And at our speed, that's only going to be a couple-hour trip. So take a 15-hour car ride and compress it down to a couple-hour or even less plane trip. That opens up a lot of interesting regional transportation opportunities.
And can you talk to us a little bit about, any challenges that you're facing going into commercialization, and, what the next 2 years or so are looking like? And can pilots just easily certify and become able to fly your aircraft if they're used to what we have now?
Yeah, so a lot of challenges, but with each challenge, there's a lot of opportunities, right? So one of the challenges that all these companies face, like ours does, is certification. Now, again, getting the Wayback Machine and go back to 2021, there was an open question of whether some of these architectures could even be certified to begin with. Fast forward to 2025, now a bunch of great work by the likes of Joby and Archer and some of the front runners on the all-electric side. As it turns out, they've spent a lot of money and they've done a lot of lobbying, and the FAA and other regulatory bodies have agreed on a certification framework. So now the question is not if these aircraft can be certified, it's only a matter of when, which is nice. We get to take advantage of that as a second mover. We walk into a space that's very well known now from a regulatory structure, and we have an easier and I say clear path to certification, which is nice. So that's on the airframe side. Now on the pilot side, another really great question. And the answer is nobody knows quite yet. But there are a lot of, again, opportunities for the FAA and for Transport Canada and a lot of the regulatory bodies to do something good. It could go all the way from maybe just having a vertical endorsement on your commercial ticket from a pilot's license perspective. I hold an airline transport pilot's license. Maybe I go to Horizon Aircraft and I learn to fly the vertical portion and get checked out on the type of aircraft, and I get a little vertical endorsement on my ticket that says you can fly this aircraft in the vertical mode. Ours flies like a normal airplane for 98% of the mission.
Oh,
so
wow.
what that means is it is completely flying just like a normal aircraft. You can see it in the background. Wings
Have you
are
flown
closed. I've flown the demonstrator, the smaller, and I want to be one of the first people to fly the large one.
He's Brandon Robinson, founder, CEO of Horizon Aircraft, ticker symbol HOVR, as Mary likes to say, bringing the Jetsons to life.
I love it.
Brandon, always appreciate the time, my friend. Brandon Robinson, CEO, Horizon Aircraft.